Our planet Earth, a breathtaking blue oasis in the vastness of space, is a marvel of life and beauty. From the lush green forests to the vast deserts, and from the towering mountains to the deep blue oceans, Earth is a unique and precious gem in the cosmos. However, this beautiful blue planet is facing a grave threat. The very essence that gives our planet life, its oceans, is rising at an alarming rate. The rising sea levels are not just a distant concern, they are a present and escalating crisis that demands our immediate attention. Global warming, fueled by human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial pollution, is causing glaciers and ice caps to melt at an unprecedented pace. The ice that has taken millennia to form is now disappearing in mere decades. This melted ice flows into our oceans, causing sea levels to rise. The increase in sea levels is not just a number on a graph, it translates to real-world impacts that are already being felt around the globe. If we don't act now, our coastlines, our cities, and our very way of life are at risk. Coastal erosion is eating away at the land, and homes that once stood safely on the shore are now threatened by the encroaching sea. The consequences of inaction are dire. Imagine entire cities submerged beneath the waves, their streets and buildings lost to the ocean. This is not a distant possibility, but a looming reality if we continue on our current path. Millions of people could be displaced from their homes, forced to leave behind everything they know. Coastal ecosystems, which are vital to the health of our planet, would be devastated, leading to a loss of biodiversity and the collapse of marine life. This is not a scene from a science fiction movie. It is the harsh reality we face if we fail to address the climate crisis. The aftermath of floods and natural disasters is a stark reminder of the urgency of our situation. The time to act is now, before it's too late. We must raise our voices, demand change, and hold those in power accountable. Grassroots movements and global protests are a testament to the growing awareness and determination of people around the world. We must come together as a global community to confront this challenge head-on. International cooperation and collective action are essential to create and implement effective solutions. From policy changes to technological innovations, every effort counts. The future of our planet and the generations that will inherit it depends on our actions today. We owe it to our children and grandchildren to leave behind a world that is not only livable, but thriving. Let us choose a path of sustainability, responsibility, and collective action to safeguard our blue planet for generations to come. By embracing renewable energy, reducing our carbon footprint, and supporting sustainable practices, we can make a difference. Together, we can turn the tide and ensure a brighter future for all. The oceans have always been a source of both wonder and fear for humanity. They are vast, mysterious, and powerful, holding secrets that we have yet to uncover. For centuries, they have been the lifeblood of our planet, regulating climate, providing food, and supporting countless ecosystems. They connect us, sustain us, and inspire us with their vastness and power. From the bustling ports that facilitate global trade to the serene beaches where families gather, the oceans are an integral part of our lives. They are a source of livelihood for millions, offering resources and opportunities that are vital to our survival. But today, these very oceans are sending us a clear warning. The signs are unmistakable. The storms are becoming more frequent and more intense, the sea levels are rising, and the once predictable patterns of the ocean currents are shifting. These changes are not just random occurrences, they are the direct result of human activity. As global temperatures rise, the delicate balance of our planet is disrupted, and the consequences are becoming increasingly evident. The heat waves that scorch our cities, the droughts that parch our lands, and the melting glaciers are all interconnected. They are symptoms of a planet in distress, struggling to cope with the rapid changes we have imposed upon it. The melting of glaciers and ice sheets, once a slow and gradual process, has accelerated at an alarming rate. These massive ice formations, which have existed for millennia, are now disappearing before our eyes. The loss of ice not only contributes to rising sea levels, but also disrupts the natural habitats of countless species that depend on these icy environments. This surge of fresh water into our oceans is pushing sea levels higher, threatening coastal communities around the world. Cities that have stood for centuries are now facing the very real possibility of being submerged. The infrastructure that supports our modern way of life is at risk, and the economic impact of these changes cannot be overstated. The science is clear. The burning of fossil fuels is the primary driver of this global warming trend. Our reliance on coal, oil, and natural gas has released vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These emissions trap heat, causing the planet to warm and setting off a chain reaction of environmental changes. The consequences of rising sea levels are far-reaching. Coastal erosion will intensify, swallowing up homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. The natural barriers that once protected our shores are being eroded away, leaving us vulnerable to the relentless advance of the sea. Coastal erosion will intensify, swallowing up homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. The loss of land is not just a physical threat, it is a cultural and emotional one as well. Communities that have lived by the sea for generations are being forced to relocate, losing their heritage and way of life in the process. Low-lying island nations face an existential threat, their very existence hanging in the balance. These islands, which are home to unique cultures and ecosystems, are particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. As the sea encroaches, entire nations could be wiped off the map, displacing millions of people and creating a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented scale. The delicate balance of marine ecosystems will be disrupted, impacting fisheries and marine life. Coral reefs, often referred to as the rainforests of the sea, are dying at an alarming rate due to rising water temperatures and acidification. The loss of these vital ecosystems will have a cascading effect, disrupting the food chain and threatening the livelihoods of those who depend on the sea for sustenance. The rising tide is a global threat that demands a global response. No single nation can tackle this challenge alone. It requires unprecedented cooperation and commitment from the international community. Climate summits and agreements are steps in the right direction, but they must be followed by concrete actions and policies that address the root causes of climate change. We must act now to curb our emissions, transition to clean energy sources, and protect our vulnerable coastlines. Renewable energy technologies such as wind, solar, and tidal power offer viable alternatives to fossil fuels. Investing in these technologies not only helps reduce our carbon footprint, but also creates jobs and stimulates economic growth. The future of our planet and our own well-being depends on the choices we make today. It is up to us to take responsibility for our actions and make the necessary changes to ensure a sustainable future. By working together, we can protect our oceans, preserve our environment, and create a world where both people and nature can thrive. Scientists around the world are working tirelessly to understand the complex dynamics of climate change. This global effort involves countless hours of research, data collection, and analysis, all aimed at unraveling the intricate web of factors that contribute to our planet's changing climate. These dedicated researchers use advanced technology and sophisticated models to simulate various climate scenarios. By analyzing vast amounts of data, they strive to predict how different factors such as greenhouse gas emissions and deforestation will impact our environment in the coming decades. Their work is crucial in forecasting future impacts, helping us understand what might happen if current trends continue unchecked. These predictions are not just academic exercises, they are vital tools for planning and preparing for the future. One such groundbreaking study, conducted by researchers at Nanyang Technological University, NTU in Singapore, has provided us with a stark warning. This study stands out due to its comprehensive approach and the alarming conclusions it draws. Using a sophisticated model that incorporates the latest data on greenhouse gas emissions and ice melt rates, the NTU researchers have been able to create a highly detailed projection of future sea levels. Their model takes into account a wide range of variables, making it one of the most accurate and reliable predictions available. The NTU study predicts a potential sea level rise of up to 6.2 feet by the year 2100. This projection is based on current trends and assumes that no significant changes are made to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This alarming projection highlights the urgency of addressing the climate crisis and the potential consequences of inaction. Coastal cities around the world could face devastating flooding, leading to massive displacement of populations and severe economic impacts. The study's findings serve as a wake-up call for policymakers, businesses, and individuals alike. It underscores the need for immediate and decisive action to mitigate the effects of climate change. Policymakers must implement robust climate policies, businesses need to adopt sustainable practices, and individuals must make conscious choices to reduce their carbon footprint. We can no longer afford to ignore the science or delay action. The longer we wait, the more severe the consequences will be. Delaying action will only make it harder and more expensive to address the problem in the future. The choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet and the well-being of future generations. Every decision, from the energy we use to the products we buy, has an impact on the environment. By making sustainable choices, we can help reduce our carbon footprint and protect the planet for future generations. The NTU study is not just a prediction, it is a call to action. It urges us to take immediate steps to address the climate crisis and prevent the worst-case scenarios from becoming a reality. It is a reminder that we have the power to change course. By working together, we can implement solutions that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, promote renewable energy, and protect vulnerable communities from the impacts of climate change. We have the ability to mitigate the worst impacts of climate change. This includes reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, increasing energy efficiency, and investing in technologies that capture and store carbon dioxide. By taking these actions, we can create a more sustainable and resilient future for all. This means building cities that are designed to withstand the impacts of climate change, protecting natural ecosystems, and ensuring that all communities have the resources they need to adapt to a changing climate. The NTU study is a powerful reminder that the future is in our hands and it is up to us to take action now. The NTU study's alarming predictions are the result of a powerful new tool in climate science, the fusion model. This innovative approach combines data from various sources, including satellite observations, ice core samples, and climate models, to provide a more comprehensive and accurate picture of sea level rise. Unlike traditional models that often focus on individual factors in isolation, the fusion model takes a holistic approach. It considers the complex interplay between greenhouse gas emissions, ocean currents, ice melt rates, and other variables that contribute to rising sea levels. This integrated approach allows scientists to make more reliable predictions about future sea level rise, providing policymakers and communities with the information they need to prepare for the challenges ahead. The fusion model represents a significant advancement in our understanding of climate change and its potential impacts. By harnessing the power of data and advanced modeling techniques, we can make more informed decisions about climate action and work towards a more sustainable future. The fusion model is a testament to the ingenuity of climate scientists and their dedication to unraveling the complexities of our planet's